All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing Stormworks Build and Rescue. We are at the entrance to the lair where the uranium is. Currently, we're just sinking and getting ready to go down. Now, I tested this out earlier, and I met my untimely demise. It turns out that the spacesuit I'm wearing doesn't work underwater. Doesn't work down there where the cave is, I guess. So I'm going to try and trade it in. Where is it here? I'm going to try and trade it in for another spacesuit. Because I've got one here that's like the deluxe. This one here is the deluxe exploration one. Right, so I have an access hatch here so we can go down into the water. Okay. They said they changed it so you don't take damage when you crawl into those low spaces. I died. So I think what we're going to end up having to do is fill the little space with water, like I said, go into it, and then enter and exit the water. I don't think we'll be able to be in there when it has air. Open it, expect the water to come inside. Why, I don't know, but I just tried to do it that way, and I died, so we're going to try a couple of things. The other thing was I put in way too much water in this thing. When I went down, I got stuck on the bottom, and I waited for about 20 minutes to try and get relief from the water, and it just didn't happen. So this is attempt number 2. I'm going to try not to overfill it this time. We're at about 14,000. 13 or 14,000 should be sufficient to pull us under the water, I hope. Now, I don't know why we're losing air there. Oh, when I have it set up to surface mode. So now if I fill, if I turn that off, no? I'm going to have to figure out what that is. One of these is air. This is air, and then this is to refill the air system. But I thought this was to fill the other tank. I'll have to take a look at that. All right, we should start to drop shortly. No, we need a little bit more. Yeah, I had them full to about 20,000, and I was down there in the bottom, and that seemed to be way too much. But I don't know if I was stuck on the rocks or if it just happened to be way too much. So I'm going to try not to fill up that much. I think it was probably way too much. Maybe I was just stuck on a rock. Yeah, a couple of things happened. A couple of things happened while I was down there. It seemed like the front, was it the front ballast? It seemed like one of these ballast tanks was actually leaking into the ship. I'm gonna go take a look here, but it was this rear ballast. It was as if it was this ballast underneath here. When I opened up this, we were full of water. Yeah, okay. It must have been. I collided with the. That's probably what it was. I collided with the ocean floor. Turn that off. And it had done some unexpected damage. Maybe that's what it was. All right, so let's continue to fill this up here. We need a little bit more water to go down. Yeah, we did really good in the cave. I stopped a little early, so I wasn't able to get right on top of the uranium. So this time I'm hoping to stop right on top of the uranium so we can get a really good test. And then something happened. I slid along the bottom and I destroyed half the submarine. Explode. You know how it does, right? When you hit the bottom and it just explodes. It happens. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, so that should almost be enough. Once we start to drop, yeah, slowly, that'll be good. Okay, so now we should be in the mode. Let's turn this to 1. That's off. All right, now we got to go this way. Right, you want to get to the point not where you're sinking, but you want to get to the point where you're kind of you're able to stay in the water. Cool. Right, I've got the an altimeter in here, which tells me where the surface of the ocean is, and then I have the distance sensor, which tells me where the bottom of the ocean is. Not like it matters when we're in the cave, but you know. What do we got here? We're coming to the entrance here. Should be here somewhere. Now we barely fit through the cave. I could make the sub longer, but I can't make it any taller. I can make it a little bit wider too if I need to, but I don't want to make it any taller than it is. Like I say, or else I don't think we'll be able to fit in the cave. So there's still some modifications that I can do to the submarine, which we may do. You know, we may be able to increase our uranium capacity, let's say. But I'm just trying. There's the entrance to the cave there. Right, you'll see we barely, we don't want to be colliding with anything inside the cave, right? And then Scott, as I said, it has these 2 spiky things on the top. So that's what I mean. We're probably at our maximum, I don't know what a safe, what would be safe. Whoa. And you really got to be careful when you're in here. It's tight. So I don't know if we could make this thing any bigger. Like I say, I think we might be at our maximum. But I do want to turn that down, slow it down a little bit to 3. Right. See, we kind of go up a little bit. This is where it's like, do we have, do I have enough weight in it? You know, if I, in the ocean, it's totally different. When you're going fast, you can easily pull yourself underwater, but then you have to slow down and just crawl. Cool. There it is. There's the uranium. So this is where I wanted to plant last time, but I stopped. I stopped like just. I don't know what would be a good spot. Probably right here. So we've stopped. Now I should be able to. Yes, there we go. Now that's bringing me down this time. Let's see if we can just suction to the bottom here. Looks like if I go. This way? Yeah, just slightly. Then we'll fill the tanks up a little bit. Okay, so the other thing I can do now that I'm pretty well here is this. Perfect. Now we're tied to the bottom. And I think that was just that one that was going. Yeah. Now we're tied to the bottom. Now I need to see. I don't think I can reach any of this uranium. Let's see what we can do here. No, that's as far down as she wants to go. Just trying to see if I can get close enough. Let's see here. Is it that one? No, can't seem to get close enough. Man. So that's our spot, essentially. That's our spot. Oh, that one's tied to itself. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll have to modify these arms so they can go even lower. I suspected something like this might happen. Um, it's either that or we try something like this. Let's see. Let's see. How are we sitting? We're sitting like that. So if we say up, maybe I'm light enough. Oh, turn those off. Am I not light enough? Yeah, this is what happened to me last time. Basically, I came down here and I just kind of got stuck, and I wasn't able to gain the buoyancy to lift off. I was trying, but I just wasn't able to gain the buoyancy to lift off. And then I lifted off a little bit, and this side of the sub scraped the bottom, and it just kind of exploded. So I said, okay, I'll try it again, but this time I'll try not to overfill myself so I can lift off the bottom, which is what I'm trying to do now. It's not a perfect science, right? If I had some cranes on here that I could manipulate around, it'd be a lot easier to get to the uranium. And that was the plan originally, but I just didn't think that I'd have the room to get it all in here, which is why I opted to put the mining stuff on the sides. I suppose I could have put it on the bottom too. I mean, there's so many different ways we could design this, right? But this is only the second real attempt that I've made to try and come here and get this uranium. So now all the magnets should be off. Yeah, all the magnets are off. Like I say, I'm just waiting for the... See if we can get light enough to lift off here. We have plenty of fuel to be down here, and we have plenty of air to be down here. So that was a success. For the most part, this actually was a success. It was more successful than the other two because it's self-contained. What isn't successful is just trying to determine the buoyancy of this. Yeah, see, now last time I came down here, and it was, I don't know if it was a glitch, but it looked like there was water getting inside the bottom of the submarine. Oh boy. So I'm sliding. I tested these things out before, and I turned them down a little bit, but maybe they're just a little bit too low. I wonder, is that into the uranium now? Yeah, I came down here earlier. This was all flooded here. And then I was going to go down into here, and this was full of water, but there's no water in it now. So I think it was just the sub had exploded. So is it? It's that one there. Oh, I am picking up uranium. Cool. All right, well, let's run that and see how far we get. It's sucking down the... I can't let that battery get too low or else I won't be able to start up. I won't be able to... Now, I can always turn that down. I didn't want to turn it down. Oh, yeah, look, we're still not quite able to keep up to it. All right, let's see here. Oh, something happened. Oh, my engine's exploded. You see, my engine's exploded. Oh, something I was worried about. Now I'm hooped. I knew they were going to explode. See, they haven't fixed nothing. They put out this big speech about all this stuff. All right, we're full, so I can hold 100 units. Well, I don't understand. I've got the radiators hooked up. I've got the coolant hooked up. And you saw the engines. They... yeah, that pisses me off is what that does. The engines just, they want to heat up. So, I mean, if you're in space or whatever, right? Like, oh, I see. Then I got to come down here and fix them. Oh, I see. Then I come down here and fix them. And then they fire up again. But now I got to go, I got to run all the way back or else they're just going to explode again. Ah, that's kind of dumb. So you have to run them low. That's what I was saying, right? See, even with that amount of all right, well, I could turn this thing off. Even with that amount, yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That one's off. All right, then we can say, move that one up a little bit off the ground. Oh, it was getting beyond. Oh, look, the deposit disappeared. I didn't know it was going to disappear. All right, so there's a limited amount to the deposit. Well, let's see if it comes back. So when the miners are working, you have to have your battery, you have to have the motor running. Because if your battery gets too low, you won't be able to turn over the engine. So I guess the alternative to that is you could have a separate power supply just to turn over the engines. All right. They can't idle too high because if they idle too high, as you saw, the engines will explode. Fortunately, we can fix that, though. If they don't explode, and then you're not able to. All right, so now the other thing is just to wait and see if the deposit respawns, what the respawn timer is. And do we want to do that, or do we just want... I have enough fuel I can come back. Maybe we'll just... Let's just leave. All right. So I have to remember that minimum idle. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on the electrical, just to see what we can do to, and then adjust these engines a little bit. just a little bit of tweaking still left to do. We'll see if we can lift off here. Right. And so what I have noticed is that ambient temperature, like the warmer air, doesn't seem to affect the engines so long as they're inside a chamber. Now I don't know how that would work if they're out in the open. Haven't tested that part yet. But again, the way the heat works is heat will heat up one enclosed space, and that heat won't transfer to the next enclosed space. So if you're building your engines inside an enclosed space, make sure there's no heater in there, because right now we wouldn't be able to run these engines with a heater. They would be too cold, or they would get too hot and explode. Because I think the heater, it adds 40 degrees, 30 or 40 degrees. It adds quite a bit. All right, now I'm just waiting to see if I can float out of here. It charges fast. I like that. Power grid charges up too fast. And if you look, we still have plenty of exhaust, and we still have plenty of air capacity. This is our air capacity here, and this is our exhaust capacity. But if I had both of them going, right, I'm going to tweak the speed on them, maybe slow them down so they don't consume as much energy. We could get, that'd be 400 uranium. That's decent. Yeah, so now we're just waiting to float. Now we're officially below what we needed to sink. So we should, in theory, I should just be lifting up. I should start floating here in a minute. So is it that one? Whoops. It would be nice to get out of here with this uranium. Seeing as how I only got 40 the last time. We didn't use much fuel. We burned through about 400 units. So I would have like at least 1,000 capacity just, for this kind of stuff, recharging and maneuvering. Oh, there it's back already. Look at that. All right. Can I go up? Now, when I tested it, these did work. Like I say, I'm going to have to adjust the speed on them. Maybe I'll make them variable speed or something. No, they don't want to. Right, again, we have to be careful because at some point we're just going to start to go up and up and up. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Take your time. I may look at modifying the arms a little bit. I'm not sure. We're limited in space, right? I could sacrifice this. I could move this back into that area, and I could convert this whole area into storage and make it so that way the hoppers come up and they can empty, and then that way we could really fill up. But I mean, I don't think we need to, it takes enough time to come out here and to fill this thing up with what we got. And I think it can carry a decent amount of uranium. I don't know what the conversion rates are. We'll figure that out. But I think this is probably, knowing Stormworks, this is probably more than enough resources. Like I say, now it's just trying to see if we can actually get out of here or not, because we're below our threshold. So I don't know why it doesn't seem to want to push us off the. No, these ones were hooked up correctly. So you could almost run this thing nonstop from the time you sink to the time you come down here and to when you leave. I'm impressed. I gotta say, I am actually impressed after having tested it and putting in the tanks and seeing what we can do underwater. It really is making me think that a larger submarine that we can use to get oil and stuff is entirely possible, and we'd be able to stay under the ocean for an incredibly long time. Which is why I really want to figure out how this whole oxygen works with the tanks, what the ratio of oxygen I need, and all that kind of stuff. If I could figure that part out, bingo, bango, bongo. That would make me really happy. Then I wouldn't need the spacesuit, right? I might still need a survival suit because it's cold, but I have a heater, so I might just be able to stay down here just with a survival suit, which is what I'd like to do, just to sort of test that element, right? So I don't need to be in the spacesuit. I can be in something else. But this not lifting off is getting kind of worrisome. I don't know if it's just the cave. Oh, it's getting dark now. Or am I really that heavy? I did test this, and I didn't have these types of issues in the ocean. I did actually test that part. I was able to go down, and I was able to move the arms up and down, and yeah, like I can move the sub. Let's turn that on again. Oh look, I could get even more. Yeah, not a whole lot more, but oh yeah, it disappeared again. Down is up and up is down. In case you're wondering why I'm. My hope was I could put it down and it would be enough to shift the submarine is. Submarine is. It moved a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get up there and figure this out. So we're not stuck. We're not trapped. I just don't know why we're. Why ain't we moving up? right? If I turn these on, oh, maybe now is not the time for that. Yeah, I don't know why it's. Oh, sliding a little bit here. Pretty sure these yeah. Like I say, I don't want it to get too empty because then it'll shoot right up to the top of the. But this is kind of odd. Oh, we're 100 feet below. That makes sense. I was probably crushing pressure when I got out. Yeah, I didn't realize we were so deep. So you'll want the dive suit to go into this cave. You'll want the dive suit. That's good to 250 units below the sea. That makes sense. Oh yeah, see it comes back, but it's not as thick. It probably comes back and probably slowly spawns in thicker and thicker. I don't know. This is worrisome. This is the problem I had last time. Is I got down here and then I couldn't leave. And the light butt doesn't work on that side. Right, so what I was able to do, I was able to move forward a little bit on the bottom. But I must have split my hull open. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. What's going on now? Submarine? Yeah, we're too heavy according to this. We're still just sitting right down there, huh? Beached whale. Trying to keep both tanks filled about approximately about the same. Huh. No, I'd say we're stuck at the bottom. Oh, we're going. So we're still quite heavy. Still quite heavy. Just hope we can get through here without crashing too much here. Well, I guess I'm stuck here until I'm able to float to the surface. So, see if we can get some more uranium. Would be an extra long video today. Oh yeah, look, it's even going, keeps going, keeps going. Nice. Like I don't know what the capacity is on the large here. I guess we'll find out, huh? Worst case scenario, I have to put tank treads or something on the bottom of the submarine, so when I come inside the cave, it crawl. I'll figure something out, right? Because I'm in the cave. I don't want to get stuck in here though, but I'm in it. All right, let's turn that off. That's a pretty good amount. $160. That's way more than I thought I could come here for. Oh, come on. We're light. We're incredibly light. Oh, I think it's starting to move now. All right, let's turn this on. I'll test these out. I got the autosave there before I left, so I'll test it out just to make sure that they do work. And I'll have to find out what our ideal, level is inside those tanks, because we needed, as you saw, we needed about 20,000 to sink, but maybe that was just too much, and now we're down to about 17,000, and we're still stuck to the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't want to lift off. Ah. We can't say it's a success until I'm able to lift off the ocean floor here. Oh my goodness, I'd love to say that. Oh, we got the uranium. Oh, is it slowing down here? I think it is here. All right, well, I'm just going to sit here and wait. If I start moving again, I'll start recording again. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. As you can see, we came down here. We got some of the uranium. I still don't know what the capacity is of the large containers. So far, we're sitting at about 161, which is impressive. It's way more uranium than we got the first time. So that's 161 per tank. I mean, that's almost 300 units of raw uranium that we have so far. Yeah, so thanks for watching. And like I say, if I lift off the bottom, I will start recording again so you can see me leave the cave. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye for now.